All right, we are in the house again. We are back with the one and only Jay McGowan, Jay the Entertrainer.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we had a great time last week. I was amazed by all the feedback, man. People were just, responding and asking questions that we didn't see because it didn't stream to StreamYard.
Yeah, hey, that's cool.
So I'm asking people, particularly on Facebook, you got to approve, StreamYard so you can send. So when you send any questions or anything like that, we see them. If not, we don't see them. So, but I will also say that I'm going to do my best to monitor what's going on as well. And see if we can catch up to some of what folks are saying. So, Jay Ski, what's going on, man? What you been up to besides taking over the world?
Not much, man. Just getting Christmas, all together, and with right as I'm trying to stay busy with the business.
That's a balancing act there, isn't it, man?
It is. It is.
Hey, man, when you own a business, man, when you're an entrepreneur, like the rest of the world can just kind of cruise on into a certain mode. We don't have a mode.
That's right. That's right.
We get up and we celebrate, man. But the reality is like cream and Christmas. But by about 12 o'clock, we're thinking about, well, okay, it's been great to be with the family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got a lot of people. I've been on the phone with a lot of people and on Zoom calls with a lot of people.
Yeah.
People are wanting to be prepared to transform and get ready for 2021, even though I tell them, let's do it now,
Yeah. That's not 2021.
Yeah. So but anyway, that's good news. A lot of people are actually open, which is something we're going to be talking about today, but a lot of people are open to changing.
Yeah, man. And we got something for them. A few people saying good morning. Thank you. Morning, Lily. Good to see you here. Everybody tell you, thank you. The numbers are starting to increase here. People jumping on. And I just want to start off by saying, Jay, do you got a song to get us going here, man? Something?
I do.
Well, just like get us going with this thing, man. Because I feel like I'm gonna go get it or something. I don't know. Maybe you can help me out.
Everybody want to be successful, right? But success is intentional. Success is something you have to measure. You got to wake up every morning and you got to decide that you will be successful and then go get it. Get up. Today is the day.
Come on, man.
Do whatever you want. Don't let nothing stand in your way. It's all on you now. What are you gonna do? Let's go, we are unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Come on, nothing's
Nothing's impossible.
We don't see no obstacles.
No obstacles.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Just go get it. I'm telling you right now, you gotta stop procrastinating. Stop putting things off. Stop blaming other people. Close up and take control of your own destiny. Get out here, get on your grind, and make it happen. Just go get it.
Come on, Jay.
I really hate when people say it is what it is.
Woo! Go get it.
Go get it.
We just lost the volume.
Yeah, I turned it down because it was getting too hype. I figured I better. Hold up, a whole concert.
I was in the middle of my hype, man. You can't be cutting me off like that. Yo, we getting the activity over here in Facebook on the stream. So good morning. We got Rachel Revel, the one and only.
Rachel, what's going on, Rachel?
Here. She on here. We got CC. She been regularly following us for a while, doing some stuff. She like family. Now you got to put your name in there because I'm seeing these Facebook users. So I don't know who Facebook user is. So put your name up in there. And Jay, I'm telling you right now, man. Listen, first of all, people saying the music is hype. Yeah, I need to calm down because it took me up there. and next time we get together, what we're gonna do is Rachel said, "Hi, y'all." I don't know if you can see all these, yeah, or not.
No, I can't see them.
And we got somebody, Annette. Good morning from PA. Somebody say, yes, the music is hype. They coming up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to know something. This is an honor and a treat to have this man being interviewed by us. You know what I mean? Jay and I have known each other for a while. We were introduced by a mutual friend. And what I like about this brother is two things. One, I mean, he's creative as all get out. You know, this song, he created this song. I said, man, this could be like a national, you know, a nationally acclaimed song. Go get it, man. And y'all stay tuned for that, because I think it will be, man, because it's powerful. But it's just natural for him to do that. It's not like even like he got to think twice about it. He just like, it's in him. You know what I mean? And we're going to talk about that creativity thing in just a moment, you know. But the other thing I like about him is with all of his accolades, you see all these records behind him and all the things he's accomplished. The brother's down to earth and he's sincere. You know, and what you got today is sometimes people who are a little bit on the arrogant side, and, you know, and they look at what they've done and they you know, but, you know, it's so funny. I got to encourage him to talk about what he's done.
Yeah, man. It's hard.
He kind of talks about me, and I'm like, hold up, man. So, you know, I don't got 25 million albums behind, you know, but I appreciate that in you, bro. So just talk to the folks. We're gonna get into some specifics, but just say hello to everybody, man, and talk to folks about something that's on your mind, and we'll dive into specifics.
Absolutely. Well, what's up, everybody? You know what? It's funny, Darryl, because when you talk about the music, like the song "Go Get It," I did that record, and that was just a message to myself.
Yeah,
those affirmations, right? I just put my affirmations in music, but I did that record to pump myself up, to motivate myself, and I'm glad other people can enjoy it. But that's why I did it. So if you're out there, you got to have a song or your own affirmations to get yourself going. Sometimes we gotta pump ourselves up, because if we're waiting on other people to motivate us, sometimes, you know, that might not happen when you need it. But you are always able to motivate, pump yourself up through music, through whatever it may be, get yourself going. And for me, like I said, it was creating records is exactly what I do. Same thing, like I think I said this last week about the plaques. The plaques are on the wall to remind me and motivate me every time I walk in the office. That's what I'm here for. They're reminders, you know, and we're going to talk about some stories behind some of the plaques, but they're just reminders. And you got to have those reminders in your office. You know, some people put them up on their mirror in the bathroom when they wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
You can have that stuff to get you going, because sometimes, you know, we all need a little jolt sometimes.
Yeah, listen, man, let me tell you this. I mean, we do. And motivation, I mentioned this before, comes from two words: motive and action. And that motive is an inner state that's driven towards a goal. You know, and action is just action. So really, it's the goal connected to action that produces energy. Okay, you know what I'm saying, Jay? It's so important, man, to realize we do need to have things. Like, people look at me and they think I'm just naturally every day getting up. This is coach. Now, there's some truth to that.
Yes.
However, you know what I mean? And so, but however, I still got to get myself motivated. So I have things I do, like you said, affirmations and certain speakers that I've admired all my life, that I get up and pop some of them on and listen to them, or reading the book. Because listen, Jay, you know this to be true. Nobody's going to get that dream for you.
Yeah. And you know something?
Nobody's going to get that dream for you.
With social media the way it is today, they're fighting for your attention. So you have to be careful now.
Yeah.
What happens, there's so many distractions that are put in front of you.
Yeah.
Whether that be TikTok or Facebook or all these things you see, and they're fighting for your attention, and you have to make sure you balance that, because even me, when I got to have just as much motivation going in as the other things. I want to make sure I'm not giving all of my attention to things that are not pushing my cause forward. And it's easy to get caught up in that.
Yeah, and you know, and vision is a big part of that, man. Like I said, I want to go down a rabbit trail. I want to keep us kind of, you know, with me, because I'll go down. I'll take us down 10 rabbit trails. You probably won't catch no rabbits, but I'll still be going down that trail. but man, you know, vision is a big part of it, and that's why Rachel, who we interviewed, is important to this journey what we're doing now, because of time management. You know what I mean? Being specific and organized and focused. You know what I mean? All that's so important. And part of what you're saying is that reason why I'm mentioning her. If you're clear on what you're trying to accomplish, you don't waste time.
Yeah.
If you know this is what I want to do, and you block that time off for it, you gotta say, ain't nothing interfering with that. I gotta look at, there's Rachel right there. Action, she jumped in. Action have to align with the vision and mission. Rachel, we should join you, have you up here. You know that.
Absolutely.
But the reality is that's the truth. Because guess what, man? Time ain't waiting for us. It's one of the few things on the planet that don't wait.
No, absolutely.
It doesn't have it's not working with your agenda. It's not like, listen, I'm gonna keep moving on despite. So when you have a vision, the vision says, this is what I want to accomplish, right? And then I stay the course with that. Am I right on that, Jay? Is
Absolutely.
that? Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think understanding, and what I was saying earlier is understanding that Facebook, even LinkedIn, these different platforms are actually, they have strategies to grab your attention and focus it towards what they want you to see.
Yeah.
So you have to have some type of strategy to make sure you focus your attention on what you need to be focusing on. Because they're fighting to get your attention, and you actually have to fight to get your own attention too.
It's really amazing, Jay. Man, this gets me so fired. Every time I talk to you, you always say you get fired up with me. I get fired up with you too. And I also had a few folks say, "What's up? What's up?" We got Oscar from Louisiana saying, "What's up?" We got a PA saying, "What's up?" We got people. Maryland said they love the music. So folk is just folks on it, man. But
awesome.
but Jay, I just tell you, man. I was gonna say one thing, but I'm shifting to another. And for something also, no, I'm away planning right now. If you look at my backdrop, this is not my normal backdrop. This is something you got to do as well. You got to get away and plan. You got to get away and strategize.
Yeah.
You can't just listen. Like Jay said, you can't wait to January. You should be doing this stuff now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Right when I walk away from these 3 days of planning, man, I'm gonna have my whole year laid out.
Yeah.
And I know what I want to accomplish and what I want to do, because you can't waste time. But I was gonna say one thing, but I do want to say another thing.
Okay.
Man, that's why it's so important right now to reel it back into what we're talking about. Is you got to think about transformation in this and rebranding and all of that. And you got to look at the strategic pieces that go to accomplishing that.
Yes.
And as we said before, you got to fall in love with those strategic pieces.
Yes.
You got to fall in love with those strategic pieces through the pain, through the ups, through the downs, through the rejections, through the failure, the no's you get. We're both in sales. We've been in sales. You got way more no's than you said yeses, but those yeses.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Them yeses produced some stuff, didn't they?
Yes, absolutely.
So we got to be consistent and specific. So Jay, you owe the folks. So I'm gonna back off on me because I get all pumped with this stuff. The folks wanted to hear a few more things about you, man. I know you got a few thoughts you want to share, and you also have a PowerPoint you want to share. So I'll turn it over to you, man, and share what's on your heart with folks, because man, your story and your strategies, man, are world transformative. And I believe what we're doing here in the States will be worldwide. I'm just saying that, speaking that prophetically, brother. So go ahead, man. What you're thinking about this, and share some thoughts with everyone.
Well, we talked last week and we were talking about a lot of different things. And I just thought this week I'd love to share some stories. I think they're funny. They're kind of take you on a ride, but not just to talk about the stories. And I'm very careful to make sure that I get this across. When I talk about things, whether records and the stories behind them, make sure you're listening, not just purely for entertainment, because I'm hoping it will be entertaining as I'm speaking, and I'm hoping I can take you on a ride there. But listen for the nuggets, the stories, because that's what's important, that you see some of the adversity, some of the transformation, how we had to pivot, how we had to, our mindset. That's what I'm trying to, those are the points that I'm trying to make. So as I'm going through the story, Daryl, please jump in, and if I hit a point, absolutely jump in. That really helps me. The same thing with everybody that's watching. If I'm going through these stories and talking about different things, comment, say something. And I know Coach is looking at the post, and that helps me to actually be able to articulate the story even better when I'm getting people going back and forth with me. So, but I thought, we're talking about getting into 2021. And again, I'm careful every time I say that, because you should be doing that now. But anyway, 2021, I know everybody like to just, they kind of wrote this year off. But I'm like, why would you write it off? We got some more time left.
Don't write it off yet.
Some more time left in 2020. Don't write it off. Make it productive, because it's something magical about momentum. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like in football. You notice, and I'm just using sports for anybody out there, but you can apply this to anything. Yeah. You ever notice how when a team, it starts with maybe a small thing like a tackle, or in basketball, a slam dunk, or in baseball, a base hit. And then all of a sudden, you see it, the momentum. It's like that train is starting to go.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it shifts. And now all of a sudden that team that was actually not doing so well, all of a sudden the momentum switches.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden things start going your way. Well, that's the same thing what happens when you're trying to be productive and you're trying to, set out to do things. Get the momentum going, small wins. Every day, like what you're doing, you're getting that momentum going. So when 2021 hits, when the clock strikes 12 and it hits, you will already be going where other people will be now getting ready to go. So I'm saying let's go ahead and get started now. But anyway,
let me say this too. I just want to add, because you talk about that momentum, man. Listen, this is what I always believe about momentum, Jay. And I hope I'm okay just kind of interjecting this thought. Momentum is a byproduct of the will and the desire to win. Yes. You have made up in your mind that I'm not losing this. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. I mean, if it's a business thing I'm doing, in sports I'm doing it. Like, I'm an Eagles fan. I don't know if any Eagles fans out there, And we got this young boy now called Jalen Hurts. And we couldn't win nothing. Like, for the first beginning of the season, we would win. This young brother comes up in there and he like, I ain't used to losing. I played at Alabama. I played at Oklahoma. I ain't used to losing. And this dude gives 100% of himself every play. We beat the #1 defense last week, and we almost beat a phenomenal team yesterday. And he still scored 4 touchdowns and passed for 360-something yards as a rookie quarterback.
Absolutely.
It's just, man, it's like the dude don't want to lose. I mean, I just want to add that part to it. So when you talk about momentum, the shift takes when your mindset goes from over here, where you've kind of accepted this, mode that you're in, to like, hold up, wait a minute. I ain't accepting that. Am I right, man? I mean, is that you hear what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And they'll take that, and your team, they'll take that momentum that they're creating at the end of the season.
Yes.
I'm not too sure because I'm not really following it, but they may or may not make the playoffs. It may be over for them. But guess what? They now have the momentum going. They put some pieces in place, and they'll play off of that on until next year. And that's what I'm encouraging everybody that's listening. Don't wait to 2021 to start. Start now. Start strategizing. Do what Coach D is doing. Coach D went away for a couple of days, and he's strategizing. He's putting things into play. So when 2021 hits, his 2021 started 2 months ago. And that's what I'm saying. And he'll actually have an advantage. We always got to look for and take advantage of any advantages we have. It's hard enough out here. So when you have an advantage, you have to take advantage of it.
You got to go for it, man. And that's like, it's kind of like the Olympics. You don't see the folk training, but you see them on that track performing. But you just see them dragging that tire down the track and running with weights on and doing hundreds of hills, and all you see is man, look at Usain Bolt. How in the world could a human being be that fat? But I saw his training regimen. Brutal. Yeah. You see Serena Williams, you don't see how many balls he hit across that net. Man, she's preparing. So when she steps up at the US Open, that's just game time. You know what I mean? And so but see, what we see, this is how it works with us, Jay. We have a tendency, and I'm going to ask you all again, please put your name in there, because I keep seeing Facebook users. So put your name at the end of your statement so we know who you are. So, yeah. So the reality is, man, we have to see, we got to realize when we're doing what we're doing, all this preparation stuff is just preparation for the game. That's all it is, man. It's getting us, we're going through all the dirty, like, we had a hotel away from my family. I'm doing all this strategizing, putting up Post-it notes and thinking about my year. And you know what I mean? I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at revenue goals. I'm looking at marketing goals. I'm looking at interview goals. So guess what? When 2000 and next year hits here, I'm not thinking about what my year going to be like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it, man. And that's what we're talking about today. And kind of what I want to share is a couple principles that I didn't realize back when I was in the industry full-fledged. I didn't realize that I was using these really global strategies. I didn't realize that we were kids. Yeah, we were maneuvering through and trying to figure it out. But now that I can go back and look back at the stories and some of the things we went through, there's so many stories and there's so many key strategies. And because we know at the very end of it we were successful, but now I get to go back now and pick apart the whole process to find out, well, why were we successful.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. And I kind of want to share a couple things. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint. Now, I think when I do this, I'm not going to see you, Coach D. So I'm going to be talking to the screen.
We got you. Go on, pop right? We got you. Yep.
I want to go through this. Hold up here. Let me share the screen.
Yeah. And now for you out there, take notes. This stuff we're sharing, I'm telling you, man, this is not from people who talking about doing things. You're getting advice from people who've done things. You know what I mean? So what he's going to share with you, what he's about to share, I would take notes. You know, I would take notes. Yep. I would definitely take notes. All right.
So you see my screen, Darryl?
I got you. Go ahead, bro.
All righty. So you're seeing that. Okay.
Oh, we see it.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to go through, and I call this little section, and I'm going to, this actually this PowerPoint is broken down into 4 sections. And for the next 4 weeks, I'll be covering each one of these. I might hit 2 of them today or may not, but I'm going to cover a few things. But the first one I want to cover, and this is so important, super important, that you be open to change. And here's what I mean by that, Darryl. There's 2 ways you can change. You can be forced to change.
Come on.
Or you can be open and you can welcome the change. Here's the difference. When you're being forced to change and you're not doing it willingly, you're doing it because you're forced to do it. Well, I think you do it and you don't. Sometimes you miss a lot of key lessons and a lot of key opportunities. You miss them because you're kind of doing it unwillingly. It's like when my mom used to force me to wash the dishes, I always did it.
Yeah.
But when the times that I did the chores and I was proud of doing the chores and I wanted to do them, that's when I did a better job. So I'm saying that being open to change, especially when it comes to everything that's going on, you know, being able to pivot. You and I talk about pivoting. We talk about transformation all the time. You got to be able to do that. And in your business, for anyone out there that, whether this is a personal business of yours or whether it's not, it's your career. Sometimes you got to be open to change. In your career, maybe you have a position that you've always had forever, but that position is not really bringing forth fruit. So maybe it's time to be open to a different position, and not be so stuck. And I'm telling you, we lose a lot of leverage and momentum because we're so stuck on. It's like me. It would have been very easy for me to say, well, I was successful in the music industry, and even though that was years and years ago, I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. But you know what I did? I was open to change, and that's why I'm now coaching, speaking, and strategizing, because I was open to the change. Where, you know, to be totally honest with you, some of the people that was in my organization, they weren't open to change, and they're to this day, they're trying to make records, and they're almost 50, 55, and they think they're gonna have the next big hit. And don't get me wrong, I know anything possible. I get that. I think there's a certain amount of you got to be real and understand that there's seasons for everything, and maybe that was your season, and you have to also be careful because people will keep you in those seasons. Right? People try to keep me in the music industry. I can't. I mean, most of the people I talk to, man, won't you make another record? Won't you go back and do this? Won't you guys remix Tootsie Roll? Won't you remix Come On Ride the Train? And what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep me in an old season. And the season is gone. Now, I can use that, some of the stuff from back then, like I'm doing now, as you see the plaques on the wall, and I'm telling stories, but I'm using that in this new, you know, where I'm going now.
And see, let me tell you something, man. There's a quote that I love that, man. Seriously, there's a quote that I share a lot, man. It's a simple quote, and that is, it's a tragedy. Think about the power of this quote. It's the tragedy to be preoccupied with the past at the expense of the future.
Yes.
Come on, man. Think about how powerful that quote is.
It is powerful.
Tragedy. Now I'm not talking about some tragedy. And most folks are trying to hold on to that past so much that they don't even see. It's almost like the future could be sitting there saying, opportunities could be sitting there saying, man, I'm sitting right in front.
Right here. Hello, I'm right here.
You see me? You know,
Yeah.
but the past it's like an anchor. And so you do have to, and you got to be comfortable with trying new things. Listen, man, you know, we doing this right now, right? StreamYard, and we doing all these different things, and you and I doing y'all got to know the podcast is being released. We're going to get you that link, and, you know, we're doing all this, man. But this is part of, when we first started speaking, we were talking about keynotes.
Yeah. This was that check. But you know what? Yeah. We were open. You and I are both open to change. We're like, okay, well, because you and I are doing funnels now. We're doing all kind of things. But we're open to change, and you have to be open to change. And there's now change can be a little scary. Change can be, you know, unpredictable, and that's why people sometimes it's hard for them to change. But I want to say to you guys out there, change is also can be very rewarding. It can be freeing to know that, you know, to do something different. I mean, you've been doing this one thing in your career for most of your life, and all of a sudden now you're venturing out into entrepreneurship, or you're starting this, or you took a different position at work, or you started just whatever. That's a real freeing thing, man. It's something freeing about that. It's like the chains get broken because now you feel like, okay, I don't have any preconceived anything about that. It's just all new. Nobody expects anything. It's like, I don't have all the, you know, all the things that I had with the last thing. I don't have those things now. So I just want to encourage somebody out there. Don't be afraid to change. You have an opportunity right now, you know, that's in front of you, and you're not sure if you should take this because you're like, well, I have never done that before. You know, I don't know if I can do it. You're unsure. You know, you know, you don't really want to take that chance. But I'm going to tell you, sometimes that's exactly what you should be doing.
And matter of fact, when you think about it realistically, that is the only way that you progress to the level that you want to progress to. I mean, it's just the way it is. You know, one of my favorite books years ago was a book by a guy named Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich. All right. And, you know, when I first read it, I was like everybody else, like, okay, you got to think. And then maybe when you start thinking, you grow rich. So you read the book, right?
Yeah.
But then he said something in that book that said, this is the reason. So I always look for reasons why I end up reading the book, because you had that initial thing. And then you're like, oh, this is the reason why.
Yes.
All right. I read this book. So he was talking about the Great Depression. And he said, during the Great Depression, something happened. Okay. Something happened. He said, obviously the stock market crashed like it never crashed before. The country lost billions of dollars. Executives were jumping out of windows. It was crazy. Okay. He said, but two things happened. Two things happened. He said, one, you had all these individuals and organizations that said they refused to change. They were going to wait for this depression to go away, and they were just going to go back. All right. It's going to go back to what it was. Don't that sound similar to today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sound like right now, doesn't it? Can't wait till COVID passes.
Absolutely.
And we're going to go back. But then he said there was a second group of people. They said, listen to this, Jay, this is right up our lane. That's why we're doing this transformation project. We need to reinvent ourselves.
Yes. And
those folks came up with new pathways and new business models and new different things. And guess what, man? Guess what? They still around today.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
I gotta address somebody. Somebody asked me a question. I gotta give Lily this quote. Lily, the quote was this: "It's a tragedy." And I'll type it into. It's a tragedy to be preoccupied with the past at the expense of the future.
Yes.
He was asking for that quote, and I think a few other people were too. So it's a tragedy to be preoccupied. What that means, it's a tragedy. Like, that's devastating. That you got all this talent, all these skills, all this stuff to offer, books to write, songs to sing, businesses to open, but you're still stuck back there.
And like I say, you'll keep yourself there. And I'm always make sure I got to say this: people will keep you there. People around you will keep you in one place or doing one thing because they're so used to you doing it, and you can't even. As soon as you talk about doing something different, they're back talking about the old thing. I'm talking about speaking and motivating and coaching, and they're talking about go make a record.
That is what I got to jump in with this, Jay, because I think this is important. I want you to help me with this, man. I want to talk about the psychological aspect of that.
Okay.
I think it's important because people become hardwired by the people that they associate with.
Yes.
Now, if I don't mind, I'm gonna be delicate with this one, okay?
Yeah.
Because it almost becomes a psychological thing. And listen, this is not just friends; it could be family. You know, where people. This is important. You know, people have these expectations of you, and so what you end up doing is spending the majority of your life and your time trying to meet those expectations.
Yes. Yes.
So greatness is sitting right there, but you got several people around you that you're still pleasing because they like what you were doing.
Absolutely.
Or they like what you are doing. So they make it seem like, you are right where you need to be. And in your mind, you're like, I don't feel like I'm right where I need to be.
Exactly. And there's so much more in front of you. And Coach, I want to tell a story how this whole concept of being open to change affected us in the business. So I'm just showing some other things I'll talk about this week. But anyway, being open to change, we're going to start there. The mind is like a parachute. It works best when it's open. We've all heard that quote before. Yeah. You see that picture there, Coach D? That's a young Jay Ski and the crew.
Yes, sir.
And the reason why I put this picture up, and I'm going to do this really quickly so we can move on. But the reason why I put the picture up is because I want everybody out there to understand when we started, this was the game plan. We were going to be, now, even though we were from Jacksonville, Florida, and that's where we're from, we wanted to be a New York hip hop group. So we went and got all the New York hip hop group uniform. That's what I call that. That's the New York hip hop Run DMC LL Cool J uniform. Yeah. That's what we wanted to be. There was a music form happening down in our state in Florida, but no. We had our mindset that we were going to be a New York group. Now, as we start moving towards doing things, I have to be honest with you, we didn't have that same swag as New York. So we weren't accepted. We weren't. We would try to be, we did all the moves. We studied everything about the New York type of groups. Yeah. And we just simply didn't get accepted, but we kept on. We were going to make them accept us. We didn't want to change. No, I'm not changing. This is what we said we were going to do, and this is what we're going to do. Well, you know what? Fast forward a little bit. After years, I would say probably 5-6 years of trying it, and it's not working. One gentleman, his name is DJ Magic Mike, Magic Mike, and we ran into him at a club, and he said to us, he said, I've always wanted to say this to you guys, but the timing just was never right. Why is it that you guys are trying to be this New York group? Can't you see that it's just not working? This is not working for you. And you're right here in Florida, and there's a new groundbreaking sound, up-tempo, dance, fun records, and it's starting to spread. And you guys are right here in the center of it. And why don't you do that? Well, he said that, and we got in the car going home, and we said, nah, he don't know what he's talking about. Now, mind you, this guy had sold 500,000 records as an independent. Wow. And for those that don't know, as an independent, that's about $50 million that independent label made. Wow. And yet we're going to tell him that he don't know what he's talking about because we were so stuck. And I want to get the story going. So here's the point. After about a couple months after that, I went to the group and I said, look, guys, we might need to look at this differently. We might need to take what Mike said, and we might need to redo this and rethink this. And you know what? After a lot of convincing, you know what? Everybody said, you know what? Let's try. Let's try. Well, the moral and the end of this story is simply this. By doing that, as soon as we switched, Daryl, and we were open to the change, and we did it openly, because I didn't want them to do it with resistance, but they were all in. They're like, let's do it. We're going to be the best group from this region. And our first record that we did was Whoop, There It Is.
That's incredible, man.
That's the first record we did because we were open to the change. We welcomed the change. We were open to it. And you know what? Look what happened.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea. See, I'm hearing this for the first time like you all. This is incredible, Jay.
Oh no, we were gonna be that. I know for a fact, and that's why anytime I see Mike, I always tell him, man, I owe you our career. You know, you really gave us that advice. And even though at first we didn't want to do it, we embraced it. We really wanted to do it. And you know what? The first record out the gate, I'm talking the first record we recorded. Incredible. After he told us that was Whoop, There It Is.
My goodness, man. That's
over 10 million copies worldwide.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Man, they got somebody here saying Lawrence Jordan saying 95 South. That name sound familiar?
Yes, that's the group.
Yeah, 95 South, Lawrence Jordan. That's it. That's it. You know what's it's incredible, Jay, when you think about that. Now, this is I'm telling you, man, there were so many nuggets. I know people taking notes, man. Y'all getting some stuff today, man. Listen, man, Jay, think, man, one person, and this is important for what we're gonna be doing, who knew the industry, gave y'all advice that was uncomfortable, but you decided to follow through with it. Jay, do you know how many people that call me up, man, and ask me for advice, and then they're like, you know, they don't want to hear it, man. You're going to call my office, coach, you got 5, 10, 20 minutes. Then I tell you what you need to do. Like, oh, nice talking to you.
Yeah.
That's the difference between greatness and people who are dreaming for the rest of their lives. Yes. You got to be willing to take advice from people and talk to us about this, even though it may be uncomfortable.
Absolutely. And that's what you have to be able to do. And again,
yeah,
you know, it was scary. The thought of us changing was very scary. It was unpredictable. We weren't too sure. We were like, I don't know. We put all these years and years into trying to do one thing. And once we embraced it, and that's what I said earlier when we first started. Once we said we welcomed the change, we really did. We said, you know what? This isn't working. We knew we were talented. We knew we had the ability. Yeah. We just need to shift. And once we all openly did that, the very first record we did was Whoop, There It Is, which went on to sell, like I said, over 10 records. And it completely changed our lives. Completely. Yeah. And you know what? It brought a lot of joy to a lot of people that enjoyed that record. And it changed the industry. That's what set the tone for music going forward. I mean, you know, Brother Lawrence Jordan said, man, he said, we were probably the first DJs in Milwaukee to break it. Awesome. Thank you. It's called the Rave Nightclub, Eagles Ballroom. He just see, that's why I love doing these things, man. You know what I'm saying? There would have never been a record for Lawrence to break had he not embraced and openly and really, like, I love the process. I actually love change. I really do. Yeah, me too. I love change because it's so rewarding. You don't know, something's on the other end of it. So that's it. Let me tell you something. Those y'all who love Coach D, the keynoter, standing on stages in front of 2,000 and 3,000, 4,000 people at a time. Listen, I'm not saying that's going to change much virtually because I'm still doing that virtually. Right? We still got these virtual keynotes. But what I'm sharing with y'all now, Jay, about being here, the Coach D you know from before is not going to be the Coach D that you're going to know in 2021. Because, Jay, we got this podcast going. You know what I mean? We're going to be doing a lot of online courses. All these different things we're going to be doing. The look is going to be different. Now, you know, I won't say any of this is new to me because I've dabbled in it. But now I'm going full tilt because why? Because now, when you talk about seasons, now is the season. Yes. I can't keep trying to hang out in the summer when it's wintertime. There you go. There you go. Catch pneumonia, got a coat, got shorts on and a t-shirt in this sub-zero temperatures. You got to change with the seasons, man. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I don't know, Coach D. You got to let me know. Do I have time to run through another one? Really? Yeah, go right ahead, man. We got time. Folk hanging in there. They ain't nobody leaving. This one is good because I know I talked about Oprah and all that, and I want to kind of talk about that. So now, like I told you, think about this. We did this record, and we pivoted. And we did this record. Whoop, There It Is comes out. It's a major record. And the next section that I want to talk about, which let me go ahead and share my screen here again. Because this right here took a lot. This wasn't easy, man. I'm going to tell you right now. This one wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me get this together here. I'm gonna find it here.
Okay.
It was nothing easy about the next thing we had to do. It was actually very difficult. Let me hold up. I didn't share the screen. I'm sorry. Share the screen.
And I'll pop up, and then I got to put it up here. Dr. Rochelle said it like this: "Now's the season. Dress for where you're going, not for where you have been."
I love it.
That's what I'm saying. I like these kind of, this kind of feedback. Thank you, Dr. Rochelle, because that's really what it is. Okay, there it is. We got you. You're up.
Okay, so now that we got this big record, okay, and we are about three months into the record, and it's just popping all over the country. Everybody, whoop, there it is. I mean, Daryl, we went from nowhere to somewhere in 2 months, man. I'm not even joking.
It's incredible.
That record took off so fast. I mean, like a bullet. Like a bullet. I mean, we went from oh man, it's just crazy. And it's a lot of stories behind that. But anyway, so now we're riding through, and we're in Virginia, and we're about to go to this radio station, and we got the radio station on, and we're about to go do an interview, and they're doing the countdown, and they're saying, okay, number 5 at 5, and number 4, number 3, 2, and we're thinking, okay, we must be number 1, and we on our way to the station, we must be number 1. Well, a record comes on called Whoop, There It Is, but it wasn't our record there. So now I need you to understand this. Everybody that's listening, I need you to understand this. Another version of our record on the radio at number 1.
Wow.
And we are driving, probably during the happiest moments in our lives, and that comes on, and we pull over, and it's quiet in the van for about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. We sat there and we're just quiet.
Yeah.
And we're all just like, what is this? Like, what is this record that's number? And it's going to lead me to this story about, welcoming competition. And it says right here, it forces us to do our best. A monopoly renders people complacent and satisfied with mediocrity. I'm telling you.
That's powerful.
I'm telling you, so sitting there, the first thing we thought is, man, we need to find these guys and we need to just shake them. And I'm thinking shake is just as a nice term. But we were upset, man. We were upset. We worked all our lives and we finally got a big hit record and somebody comes along and steals it. Just takes the record. So what do we do here? So for the next few months, we were just mad. We were just mad, and I had to hire an attorney, cost me a lot of money, and now we're trying to figure out things. And it hit me all of a sudden, Darryl, and this is the point I want to make on this section. All of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, why am I fighting this? I should actually be open and welcome this competition because this is giving us more publicity. We're now talking about the dual records. And that group was tag team for all those that out there. We're 95 South, and we had Whoop, There It Is with WHOOT, and they did Whoop, There It Is, WHOOMP. And these two records are now out in the marketplace selling like crazy. And what we had to do, and I want to encourage people out there that if instead of looking at your if you're a speaker and you don't look at another speaker as competition.
There it is.
If you're a business and a certain type of business, a hair salon or whatever, even in your careers, if you don't look at, you'll miss the lessons, and we almost missed them. And it wasn't until Darryl we embraced the competition and I said, wait a minute, we're going to get double, triple the PR. We're going to get. There's people that's talking about our record. Even the two records created a big talk. Everybody was talking about that. And don't get me wrong, legally, I did what we had to do because, there's copyright laws. You can't just take somebody's record. But I had the opportunity. I had two choices. I could stop the record completely, get an attorney, do a cease and desist, and stop that record. Or I could let that record, work out a situation with them, let that record continue, and it just made everything big. And Darryl, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. God just blessed me with that insight. And because we did that, we went from probably having a record that would have sold about 500,000 records to actually being involved in a record that sold over 10 million records.
Incredible.
The combination of both records.
Incredible.
So welcome that competition. Learn from the competition. There's a quote that says, success leaves clues. Learn from it, embrace it, be open to it, and you'll learn a lot of things. Now I put this next little piece up here because not only did we learn a lot of things and we gained a lot of momentum with the 2 records, we also worked out a deal with them. And now this is their cover. And back for anyone out there, old school, this is a cassette because it's the only one I could find. But they now combined the 2 records, and now that combined record also sold millions of copies.
Come on now.
And that would have never happened. And then another thing, and I'm about to wrap this up. Another thing that happened is Tag Team's version of their record was a more pop record. We had a more club type of record. They had a more commercial type record. And Arsenio Hall, every night on his show, he would actually talk about, he'd do something, then he'll drop their record. There, and they was doing their version. And at first we was like, man, I wish he was using our record. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we're benefiting off both records. So and now this is national now for all you guys that remember Arsenio Hall and the Arsenio Hall show. And then he decided to, and this is where it gets good. He says, I want to do a battle of the bands. It's something he always did. And it was, he actually did it for great causes. And he said, I want to bring both groups on to perform and, just let the callers call in and say which record they like better. We'll sell this thing. We'll find out which record people like better. And the money that we'll make will go to it was a Midwest flood back in 93, I think it was. And all the money went to the Midwest flood. Well, I want to show everybody just a little small piece of that, what happened that night.
Versions of a hit song that everyone is singing, either Whoop, W-H-O-O-M-P, or Woot, W-H-O-O-T. There it is. We're going to settle the whole thing with a battle of the 2 bands that have recorded it. Listen to the songs, and both songs, and call 1-900-884-HALL. That's my last name. That's so clever. And tell me, or the operator, or whatever the hell you do when you pick up the phone, tell them which one you like best. And we'll send the profits to the American Red Cross Flood Relief Fund to help the flood victims in the Midwest. First up, yes, are we ready? Everybody get up! The CD, Quad City Knock, performing Woot. There it is.
Incredible, man.
5 South.
Go ahead, Jay.
And this is the young Jay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop it right there. But anyway, now so there, look at what happened from us embracing and welcoming competition. Now we are on Arsenio Hall, which I will guarantee you this, that would have never happened had it not been for the national and global attention the record got from it being 2 records. And that's it. And as you can see, I highlighted at the end, this is talking about People Magazine did a write-up about that. And it said in the end, 95 South won. The voters helped Hall raise more than $14,000 for the Midwest flood. So we got a little vindication on that show because we ended up winning the competition. And I want to get some questions. The last one would be, we turned around and did the same thing because I said, wait a minute, that strategy worked back in with 95 South and Tag Team. So now, 96, we released Come On Ride the Train. Big record, top 3 in the country. It is just a huge record. And we found out that Oprah was going to have, there was another big record that year, bigger than our record, actually a bigger dance record. It was called the Macarena. Everybody remember the Macarena?
Oh, yeah.
So we found out that Oprah was going to have the people that sing Macarena on her show. And I just got this idea out of nowhere. I said, you know what? We should call up the Oprah show and we should sell them on having both, because we also have a big summer record too. I mean, when I say just as big, it was big. Now their record was just crazy, but our record was big. We called up, you know, and we got into, you know, it's some selling. We had to do some selling, and here's why you should put us on. Our record is, you know, anytime they play their record, they're following up with our record. I mean, we just was selling, and make a long story short,
when we were getting all comfortable doing the Macarena, along comes another new dance that they say you gotta learn. It's called the Train. This is Jay and Lana, better known as the Quad City DJs. Their hit song, The Train, Come On and Ride, it is flying up the charts to compete with the Macarena. These guys are here with a couple of their dancers to teach us the Train. All right, let's hear it.
Well, first of all, you just move your shoulders. Everybody do like this. You can do that. Now pull down the train horn. Now that move it like this. And y'all got it.
Now, is it?
and on another time, D, I will show. Let me stop sharing here.
Yeah.
I will show the rest of that. But
hold on, time out, man. Everybody in your chat feature, man, give him a hand clap for that, man. Give him a hand clap. It's like, man, what he just shared with you, that would be a $40,000 keynote.
Yeah, you know, Darren, I don't want to miss this. I appreciate that. I really appreciate you saying that.
The power behind what you said. You know, corporations and businesses will pay a ton of money just to hear that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I just want people to understand the value of what you just shared. You know, because that right there is powerful, man. Go ahead, brother.
And I want people to understand the point. It's not about me showing you that I was on Oprah. It's not about me showing you that I was on Arsenio Hall. I promise you it's not that. It's to make and drive home this point. You have resources that's right around you that sometimes we think, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to, you know, you got to embrace the competition. You got to, you know, Burger King had no problem embracing McDonald's as competition, and they both won. You know, you can embrace it. You don't have to fight it. And then you create things for all the ones that's out there. Maybe it's not your competition, but see, the Macarena, we weren't in competition with the Macarena. But guess what we did? I saw an opportunity to make it and develop it as some type of verses, because I knew it would help me, and I could ride the coattails of their record, which we have a record. But so that was created. So again, we told Oprah, there's another big summer dance record going around, and it's competing with the Macarena. People are either doing the Macarena or they're doing the Come On Ride the Train. See, all that is that was a selling job we got on the phone and we did. And we said, so, and it's not, I mean, we'll tell them, you be at an event and they play the Macarena, and right after that, people start doing the Train.
Yep.
And the Oprah, her team, they thought, this could be pretty cool.
Yep.
Let's bring both groups on. Again, let's bring both groups on, and let's have and it wasn't really a competition, but it was hey, these are the two big summer records. And the lesson in that is, guys, embrace and welcome things around you in your profession. You know, so be open. We talked about that first, being open to change. And then once you're in there, don't go in there blindly. Use what's around you. Use the resources around you to help propel you to where you want to be. You know, I tell people, don't copy, but model success. If something is successful, model that success, and it'll help you launch your success. So I'm done. I just thank you, Coach D, for giving me the opportunity to try to tell that story and make it a little entertaining. And
thank you, man. And from the moment we started talking, man, I've been saying from the moment we started communicating each other, you got a transformative message for a couple reasons. One, you were willing to, like what you did with Oprah. I mean, you sold that to Oprah. You know, you could have said, Oprah won't not talk to me. She don't know me. But let me get on that phone and sell Oprah. See, that takes confidence. You see what I mean? That takes confidence. Even in the Bible, it says, don't cast away your confidence because there's great recompense of reward. You know what I mean? Like, it's confidence, man. But then also, man, oh man, this thing got me so fired. I'm ready to go do something. I'm just going to do something. I'm going to do something, man. But yeah, they got to do something. But but also, man, is that you're bringing to light. And I want to get this audience to understand, and those who sign up for the podcast, this is what Jay and I are going to be doing every week. You bring into light strategy, Jay. A lot of people that do this stuff, man, that have these podcasts and these stream things, they ain't giving you no strategy. They're hyping you up, and you're going off, and you're like, yeah, let's do this, and you're buying this from them, but you ain't got no strategy.
Yes.
And so the reality of the matter is, Jay, it's about strategy. You are where you are, not the 95 South, Quad City, because you had, let's say this, brother, and I know you weren't by yourself, but you have a strategic mindset. I've been telling you that from day one. You got a strategic mindset.
Yes.
And in order to achieve anything in life, man, you have got to be strategic. You got folks, you should get hand claps. All these folk hand clapping, thanking you. My man Robert Henry in Virginia just said thank you. There's people that are getting this, man, and understanding. But let me drive this home, because I want to let y'all know Jay and I have partnered. We've partnered, and we're going to be doing some in January. The next time we get together, we're going to share some things. We're going to be doing some webinars, some summits. We're going to be doing some training. We're going to be doing some coaching. We started the Transformation Podcast, which you'll have that link later today. Come back to this same page. We'll have it up for you. I put this sheet up, and we're not trying to, what we're trying to do is we see the potential in people, right? Through the power of transformation, rebranding, reinvention, to produce outcomes that they've only ever dreamed of.
Yes.
And let me say this, Jay. In order to do that, you got to get beyond yourself.
Yes.
You gotta stretch, man. And let me say this quote. I'm a quote guy, so I always got a quote. And this one quote I love, man. It says, "You can't see the picture when you're in the frame."
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta have somebody say, "No, I see what's in that picture," and that's all we're doing, man. We're saying, "I see what's in that picture." Now, what we want you to do is take that you got, what you got in you, and we're gonna pull it out of you. So we're gonna be doing that through our podcast. We're gonna be doing that through this source here, through StreamYard. We're gonna be doing it again through some webinars and through some seminars and some coaching programs. So get ready for some of that coming out, because, and here's what I want to say. This man, like I said, and I know he said that's not really it, but I'm gonna still say it. What he just shared, I'm a keynoter. I know what companies and organizations, what they want to bring in. That was top flight, top level, because he just didn't get up there and talk about I made hoot, there it is. He didn't just get up there and say I rotated, we're coming ride the train. He got up there and talked to you about strategy. Some of the things he had to do, some of the risks that he had to, and that's going to be, Jay, help me out with this if you think I'm saying on point. That's going to be the focus of how we work together, right, my man? That's
Absolutely.
how we work.
And that's what I want people to get out of it. I think I said this last week. I have people come in the office all the time, and they want to sit and they want to re-celebrate the successes. And I'm like, you'll get a lot more out of me by going through the process with me.
Yeah.
I'll give you, that's where all the gold is. The gold is in the processes and what it took to maneuver through these things. And that's why, and I do it from my heart, because I wanted to, I wanted to share with you guys the message and the lessons behind those records, because it's easy to think that we just popped up one day and did whoop, there it is. But as you can see, we weren't trying to do nothing nowhere near whoop, there it is. We had a closed mindset. We were not open to change, and we were not going to do it. And it wasn't until we decided to change that mindset that we got that record. And then we had some adversities through us with competition and with they're obstacles. And remember, I always say the obstacles are there to keep the people that really don't want it out. That's what they're there for.
Again, man.
Those obstacles are not there for the people that want it. They're gatekeepers. They're security guards standing at the door, keeping all the people that don't really want to come in the party. You really don't want to come in. You just think you want to come in.
Yeah.
Obstacles are there to keep the people that really don't want it out. That was nothing but not knowing Oprah was that's an obstacle for somebody else, because they would have definitely gave up.
Yeah.
That was nothing. I didn't even see that as an obstacle. Not knowing her well, that's fine. I'm going to figure that out. That's not a big deal. What else? That was the easy part. That's the easy part. She has a building. She has people that work for her. She has phone numbers. She has web addresses. I can figure that part out.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm so full. I want to, this mindset, this stuff, I'm always talking about mindset, man. That's just, it's a part of my message. It's a part of my, story. It's just, it's all here, man. It really is. Like, if you didn't have this mindset to come up with that idea, hey, we just did this on Arsenio. Let's try something with Oprah. You know what I mean? Now Arsenio was a bad boy, but he wasn't Oprah.
No. It's a whole different thing.
A whole nother level over there. Okay. So you just took that thing right on up there,
And Coach, I want to say this. People thought I was crazy. They were like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
They're gonna do what?
Yeah.
Those records ain't got nothing to do with each other. I'm like, just watch and see.
Hey, come on, brother.
You just watch and see. I'm gonna create the magic. Sometimes you have to create the opportunities. You can't wait for opportunities. You create opportunities.
You got to create those opportunities. You got to feel people saying they want to reach out. Reach out to us, man. People saying they want to be a part of this. Jump on in, man. We want folks to be a part of this. We want folks that can see the vision and say, you know what? I want to run with you, brothers. Listen, man, we're not out here. Jay and I have had levels of success in our careers and business and all of that. Man, we trying to create something here. Those of you who know me, that's all I've ever been about. I mean, it's never been about me. It's always been about other people's lives. You know what I'm saying? In the betterment of their lives, so that they can produce what they produce. What I love about my life, man, and what I do, Jay, is all the people that have been blessed and all the people that are doing great things with their life. I love that stuff, man. Yeah, and they messaging me and saying this is going on, that's going on. I'm like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But here's the thing. What you're saying, I got one quick thing I want to share too, because we're gonna have a guest on our podcast soon. I want to mention a story. Her story made me think about yours. The thing we got to realize is, man, you can't just spend your whole life, talking about doing something. You got to have the confidence to get in there and do it. Yeah. I will say this because when you talked about persistence, I was thinking about persistence, and I'll say this because one of the people I want to interview on our podcast is my dear friend Michelle Hoskins, and people know Michelle is the syrup lady, and the reason why she created her own syrup.
Okay.
In her mom's basement and took that thing global. All right. I mean, it's just the most amazing story. But I'm sharing this because when you talked about calling Oprah, all right, I thought about Michelle because Michelle wanted to get her product into Denny's. I think Denny's, like having the syrup and all that.
Yeah.
At Denny's, all the Denny's stores. And I'm giving her story away. I want her to share it. But she said for like 3 years straight, she called them this one number to try to talk to somebody about getting her syrup in there. You know what I mean? Just trying to get her syrup in there. And it was like 3 years later, I may be messing up the time frame. I guess the lady got so frustrated. She said, you ain't gonna give up, are you? She said, not until you listen to me. And they said, come on into the corporate headquarters. Next year, her product was in all the Denny's.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So what we're talking about now is another level, man. This is about, I believe in my dream enough that I'm willing to go to bat for it.
Absolutely. And sometimes you just gotta think. You got to get with people, and that's what I love about this movement that we're doing. And get with individuals that think like you, and get around people that want the same things you want. And you know what? Partnerships are so important. Partnering, being part of a organization or part of a tribe, that's very important. You want to attach yourself to those type of things, and that's what we want to do. We want to create that community that we can show people how to maneuver creatively through different things. Creative marketing is you and I both are really big on creative marketing. So for the people out there that have companies and different products and they don't quite know how to creatively market them, we want to be able to help you with that. So I'm excited about this, and there's so many more stories, man. This is just scraping the bottom of the barrel.
We're going to keep bringing it, man. But like I said, for the 4 times I got you on, I'm milking it, man. I'm milking it because I just want people to, you know what, man? I feel like we should keep going on, but I like to connect with folks that, man, that have first of all, have some drive, determination, and moxie, which you have that. But I also like to interact with people that got the right heart. You know what I'm saying? That means something, man, because we're more than just our careers in our accomplishments with people. Yes. And it's like when you partner with somebody, you want to partner and connect with somebody that you enjoy you enjoy interacting with, man. That's somebody, you may produce an outcome, but with some people, but then you have a headache for the rest of your life because they drove you crazy. You got ulcers and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
The reality is, man, you want to partner. So I'm looking forward to this. I mentioned to people, if you want to, any questions, reach out to us. Jay, I don't know if you want, man, I should have grabbed your email, but I'll pop it in on the YouTube and the LinkedIn. I mean, your website address. And matter of fact, give it to me now because I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna put www.
It's JAY at Record Breaking Sales.
Record. Record. Oh, a second.
Record Breaking Sales.
Record breaking sales.com.
.com.
Okay, got it.
That is it. And our podcast is going to be connecttp.com. We're doing the final touches on it, but that's where you'll be able to connect with us on the podcast. Just go to Connect TP for Transformation Project. So connecttp.com.
Putting that into.
Yes.
And I'm telling y'all, go, it's still being worked on, but go and subscribe.
Yes.
Because we've interviewed, matter of fact, a couple of people we interviewed is on here. I don't know if Pierre is on here or not, but we Rachel Revel, who's got serious strategies around man.
I'm still using some of Rachel's stuff.
Rachel Revel's already been interviewed. My main man Pierre Campbell is talking about that's my man. That dude is like rocking LinkedIn like anybody I've met before.
Yes.
And he shared some strategies about, using social media to promote yours. And then we had the man on last week, Vic K. I didn't even know he discovered Mandy Moore. That flipped me out. He discovered Mandy Moore.
Yes, he discovered Mandy Moore.
My old ball player buddy in college and all. I didn't even know all of this stuff.
Victor gave us some great strategies on
how to,
just how to maneuver through challenging and obstacles. So it's awesome.
Yeah. And you said it's Connect TP?
Connect TP.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't go. I just tried to post it and wouldn't let me go through. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm still. I don't know if you tried to go to the page. For anyone that, if you try to go to the page right now, it'll be live today.
Yeah.
It's not live as of yet.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just so I think it went through with this time. So just so people know the page number. So listen, man, my brother, man, thank you so much. Man, this was really, really rich, man. It was. You got a lot of thank yous out here, man. You know what I mean? And Rachel said we're the best, and so are you, Rachel. And this is your season, my friend. And we'll hit it up again next week. Listen, we're on vacation, but we're gonna keep rocking this.
We're gonna keep it going.
We're gonna keep it going. We ain't playing. We're serious about this. And let me say this as an immediate assignment. Can we give them an assignment, Jay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want y'all the next Monday when we come back. I want y'all to be able to type in this chat feature 2 or 3 things you did. All right, as a result of this podcast. I mean, this interview. And what strategies are you going to apply? And I want you to come back next week ready to pop these in the chat feature because I want to see what you're doing. Because keep in mind what I always say: motivation without information is simply a good conversation. Yeah, you got to get me on just feeling good. Yeah. Get into the muck, get into the dirty. So I'm here right now, man. I'm gonna come out of here. I'm gonna put my sweatsuits on. And I'm back to work.
Yeah.
Get used to that, man. All these thank yous. Merry Christmas to you guys. But come back next Monday. Don't sit home and just sit at Netflix. We're gonna be here next week, Monday. Okay? Don't be sitting on the popcorn. If you're serious about it, get serious about it and jump in here. And Jay, we'll see you then, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hold on, don't go anywhere, Jay. Yourself. Rest of you guys have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy your families. But get ready for 2021 because we're gonna run with this thing. We are gonna run. We ain't playing. We're serious. And we want people to run with us, man, because we know what we're doing. Those of you who've been following me on the Workforce Development Show, I've been doing this since March, man. This is, you know what I mean? I never asked for anything or look for anything every time. I just been putting it out there and putting it out there. But now next year, we're about to go to another level.
Absolutely.
All right? We're about to go to another level. All right. And so we got Jay here, but you got Pierre, you got Rachel. We got a dream team here that's serious about producing outcomes. And we're gonna get there. So thank you so much, my friend.
Yes.
All right. Y'all be blessed. Could you take us out slowly with a little something that we can? Is it there to do?
What you want it to be, you can accept it. You can change it.
Come on, go get it. Go get it. Come on, yeah. Go get it.
Let me tell you something. You need to stop letting people define you by their words. Listen, when somebody thinks about you, that's none of your business. When somebody believes about you, that's none of your business. You let them deal with that. The only thing you have to remember is that you control your destiny. You have the power to create the life that you know you deserve. Now, let me warn you, you're going to get frustrated sometimes. You know sometimes you're going to give up, but that's when you have to dig deep down in your heart, find the passion to keep pushing, to keep moving, because you're right there, 3 feet from goal, and the pain gets stronger the closer you are to giving birth to your dreams. Now, a lot of you saying, you know what? I got a lot of things going on, and I just don't have the time. Well, let me tell you where you can find some time. Stop following a bunch of foolishness and negativity on Facebook. Get on your grind and go out and make it happen.
My man. Thank y'all so much, Robert. Yes, it is hot, man. And trust me, you're going to be hearing more of this. All right? Jay just hooks it. That's what's in them. So thank y'all. God bless. Have a great Christmas, and we'll be seeing you next Monday. Same place, same time. Go tell a bunch of other folk. We ain't playing. We making it happen.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. What did happen here? It's like I just lost something there. Where'd it go? All right, Jay, give me just a second. Something's going on weird with this. There we go. Why is it still saying live and we're off? Okay, there you go.